Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back. You're watching iAllegedly. And I've got a good one for you because I've got a bonus video this week. I'm going to talk about ATM limits and some breaking news with this. And as I walk around the golf course, I always get a kick out of these two signs. People that fish, like you'd want to fish, maybe you'd want to eat in that blue water dyed stuff. And then no swimming in the lake at the golf course. So don't do that. But let's get into it. First things first. Nigeria, and you can say, it's so far away, it has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with us. They are trying to push their digital currency on their population. So what they've done is they've limited ATM withdrawals to $45. Basically, it's like 1,000 naira is their currency, and they don't want people to spend the naira. They want them to spend the e-naira, their digital currency, and they want to discourage cash purchases in the future. Now, the problem with this is that this practice is going to come here. That's what you have to get yourself ready for. And the thing about this is that the average person had a $350 withdrawal limit, whatever that is, the equivalent of naira. I think it's 2,500 naira, but it was $350. They have since lowered that to where it's $45 a day with a maximum that you can take out of $225 a week. Why do I tell you this? Because we talk about banking limits all the time, and the only thing that the banks are starting to talk about in unison right now is that they are having a problem. And we have this inflationary spike, and you're starting to see all these different problems with the banks cutting back and withholding people the ability to get money out of the bank. So with that happening right now, you need to take a look at this because they're going to do that here. They're going to do it in the UK. They're going to do it in Canada, Mexico, South America, everywhere. They're going to start doing this. But they limited the cash withdrawals to individuals and to businesses. How about a business that can only take $500 out of the account in a week? And they're limiting cash withdrawals altogether as you walk in the bank. So with this being said, you're finished if this happens. Now, the one thing that we have talked about over and over and over again is to have multiple bank accounts. And one thing that you need to do is in 2022, between now and the end of the year, go take $100 and go set up another bank account for a few reasons. Number one, you'll have another place to put it. Don't do this to hide it from your spouse because they're going to find out and then you're going to be in trouble. And I'll tell them too, okay? So the other thing is that as we change to 2023, one thing that someone told me in banking management last year was we look at the year that the account was open. So think about this. If it's 2023, they look at, well, how many months has this account been open? Then they scrutinize the account. If it's 2022 and it turns to 2023 as the calendar changes, you have a better chance of them making better decisions for you because the account's been open for a year as far as they're concerned. Now, once it hits 2024, the account has 2 years of activity to it. You can see, oh, that's ridiculous, Dan. That's kind of, a simple way of doing it. Yes, you need the edge. You need to think of these edges right now. Now, in Nigeria, 35% of everybody that's in Nigeria, of the masses, of the population, uses Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies to skirt the government and to pay their bills and to not have to deal with the banking system. So they're aware of that. The government is. So what they've said was we're going to fix that and limit the withdrawals and make it so that they're going to have to do business with us. So no. Now, you have to look at this. This is coming here. And you have to look at the bank limits and how they're going to limit your withdrawals. So many people do not look at this. Go look at your ATM withdrawal limit and demand that it be put back to where it's supposed to be, because you're going to be shocked when you go there and think, I think mine's $3,000, and then it's 300. So the idea with this is so that you don't take money out of the bank. They don't have the liquidity. They don't have the money in the bank right now to support this. So what they're doing is they're limiting these funds. Now, the next thing is Lori, with an I, wrote me and said, hey, Dan, I deal with credit unions, and I'm having more and more problems with getting money out of the bank. So Lori can run her life any way she wants, but there's problems with doing what Lori's doing, and this is frustrating. I get it, guys. I get that when you talk to these banks, that you sit there and you go, hey, this is total BS that they're asking me what I'm using the money for. And the smaller institutions, you're going to have more problems with. It's that simple. But Lori is only taking out $1,000, $2,000, and they want to know what the money is used for. Now, what people run into is how they deposit money, how they take out money, how they maneuver it between account to account, and don't let a banking day happen. In other words, they will put money in one account, deposit it here, transfer it over to here, and then start trying to withdraw it, sometimes the same day, which then sets off red flags and people to look at money laundering and things like that. Think of this as trying to do one simple transaction a day. Now you can go in there and get multiple cashier's checks and things like that from your bank, but try not to be something that's going to trigger anything. There's no need to do that. So the other thing is banks are doing different things to verify your identity. I don't have problems with this stuff because I've checked it out and looked at it from other subscribers over the course of the last year. One thing that banks are doing right now, a lot of, is you're standing there in front of them saying, hey, what phone, do you have a phone with you? Yes, I do. Do you have the one that ends in 1234? Yes, I do. Okay, we're going to send you an automated text message one time only to that number, okay? Now you're standing there and they send you this text message, and the text message may be an instruction, open this app up, or give us a number. That's pretty safe, guys. Don't freak out about that. You're standing in the bank and they're sending that text message to you. Now, Lori was saying, have a total problem with this. I don't want to give them that. I don't want them to have access to my telephone. Well, you had to give a phone number when you set up the account. That's rule number one. Next to your social security number, they need an identity. And the less that you have, less information you have, if it's not up to date, or if they call all the numbers and they need to get a hold of you and they don't, they'll flag the account and freeze it. So that's pretty safe, guys. People have told me about Bank of America, and Chase does this as well, where you're standing there and say, listen, we've sent a message to the mobile banking app, and when you open it, there's going to be a screen in the front. What does it say? It says, please click here to continue. You click on it, and it verifies that it's your identity, and you're the person taking out this money. So you have to give them certain information, guys. You just do. Now, nobody wants to do this. Everybody's concerned about their privacy. Everybody's freaking out right now that they're going to steal something from you. If you're not there, then there's an issue. It's that simple. Somebody wrote me and said, hey, I got one of those notifications and I wasn't at the bank. Call the bank, guys, right away. Because yes, there are bad people. There are bad people that can get your ATM, your debit card, and try to get, I just don't have my ID with me. What do I do? How do I get, $200 out of your account? Explain to the bank what you do for a job and let them know. And people freak out about it. It's none of their business. You're 100% right. But do you want to give them more information? Do you want to re-verify your account? Because that's what they're doing with people right now. Give us your ID. We want an original of the Social Security card. Do you have that? Do you carry that with you, your original Social Security card? A lot of people don't. So they can make it very difficult for you. So I suggest, and people don't get this, if you have $50 in your bank, they work for you. Now, are there people out there that have $500,000 in a bank and they're convinced that the bank works for them? That's fine. Okay, that's fine. The only problem is that we're all equal when it comes to this thing. So you should sit there and you should just be calm and explain it as much as possible. You know when they're giving you a hard time. But what's going to happen right now is they're going to start limiting the withdrawals, just like Nigeria. And they're going to do this more and more and more. What Lori is seeing with her credit unions now is that they're doing this. If you do not have multiple banks, multiple brokerage accounts, this is 100% on you, and it's only going to get worse right now. So nobody wants to sit there and admit this. Is it a lot of work? Yes. Is it a total headache? Yes. Does it create work for you? Yes, absolutely. But go get free banking. Go find out how much it is to get checking for free. Try. Do what you can do. So they want this information, and it's a big problem. Now, the other thing that I keep getting sent to me, and I wanted to talk to you guys about this, was MetaBank, MEDIBANK, out of Australia, was hacked. And these people used a ransomware attack to get people's personal information and said, if you don't pay us X amount of dollars, we're going to release all this information. And they started to release it because the money wasn't paid up. Now, the problem with it is this is on MetaBank. This is totally on MetaBank 100% because people's personal, their name, their address, their social, their birth date, that was given to them. But hey, MetaBank, and I'll include the letter in here, over here, you know, hey, but listen, don't worry, looks like your personal medical records weren't given to you. It's enough to sue, guys. And you're going to see class action lawsuits. And I don't know how it is in Australia, but here, I'm telling you, did your boss yell at you? Do you take your parking space? You got money coming. Don't forget that, okay? People sue for everything here. But class action lawsuits, and this is a perfect one because what monkey was negotiating this with the ransom attack, okay? Why did it happen? Who did it happen? Was it an inside job? Blame them. I think it's MetaBank's fault. Anyways, just a bonus video for the week, guys. Really quick thing, but get ready for the ATMs to be shut down in a city near you, to be limited. All the banks that I've talked to, everybody I've interviewed, everybody I've sat down with, won't go on camera, but they'll talk. We want to get rid of the tellers. We want to get rid of personal banking. Okay, what does that mean? We don't want you to come in the branch. We want you to do it outside on the telephone and via the app. Okay. You can't run a business doing that way. You guys know that. Be kind to these people until it's not time to be kind to them. Remember that. Please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification. You know, stay up to tune on everything that's happening with this. Send me any stories like this because it's crazy. But if you don't think, you can sit there and go, Nigeria, Dan's talking about Nigeria today, honey. Yeah, what stupid is that? Guys, this is coming here. Mark my words. It's Nigeria Day here, okay, on iAllegedly. Mark my words, guys, because it's coming to a city near you. And I don't care if you live in the South. I don't care. All these banking restrictions, all the IRS restrictions, everything's going to happen. And people sit there and don't get it. Oh, I run a small farm, Dan. I run a bait and tackle shop. I run a brewery, was the guy that sent me the information today. Very cool business. All these cool stuff that people do. But you know what you need? You need to have a banking institution that you can rely on, and have a few of them, guys, because shenanigans are coming. Plus, if you guys have credit cards or take credit cards, have multiple places to take people's money because they're going to cut you off. Okay? And make sure they're not owned by the same company because that could create a problem. I could talk about this for hours. Onward and upward, guys. I will see you guys very soon. I always appreciate everything you guys send me.